But we've got enough backup here to, even if our pumps went out and we didn't have the electricity, we've got that big diesel right there, and we have a big diesel in the back. We can run it 24, 36, 2 weeks, we don't care. Hey everybody, welcome back to Florida Exotic Fish Sales. We're going to do a kind of an odd thing today. Today was our first cold weather, and for us cold it was like 58. So I've got 2 t-shirts on and this long sleeve and this thing on. We're freezing, but it's just a beautiful day. There's not a cloud in the sky, and this is why everybody comes to South Florida during the wintertime. But anyway, we're gonna walk you around and show you what we do and how we prep for the cold. This is one of our big backup. This is a big diesel water pump. And we'll make sure this is all set up. We'll run it Monday. We have to hook the output part up again, put it here, because during the hurricane season, we leave it off. So what we do is we're gonna, big pipe will come out here and drop down. We take it off during hurricane season because we don't want it to get busted by anything. And if a hurricane was coming, we'd actually close this up. When the hurricane leaves, we'll pull this off, put the pipe on, and get cranked. So let's go. As we continue the series on the tank sizes, we've got a 10-gallon tank, and we were going to do it today, but we can't do it today because it's too cold. And when it's cold like this, we don't do anything with the fish. We don't touch them. We don't let them move around. We don't want them to move around the tank where they're maybe warmer and then push them somewhere colder, so we just leave them alone. But anyway, we got 6 more 75-gallon tanks and one 125. And we're going to set these up with something special along the way, so that's going to be a fun thing because we're enjoying it inside the warehouse. We've got those 4 in there. I'm loving it. I'm going to show you this material right here. It's ground cover. By that, I mean the nurseries use it to, they lay it on the ground out flat, and then they put their pots on top of it. That way you don't have to worry about doing any kind of weed killing or anything. They just leave this on with the pots on it, but I'll show you what we do with it. So right now we've got the guys out putting this ground cover on. So here's how we put it on. We have a cable up top, and there's a cable at the bottom, and they put the hog rings at the bottom to hold them, and the hog rings up top. Now we did this area first, got it done last night, because this is the Tanganyika area, the most sensitive to the cold. And the reason we do this is we're blocking the wind. Now the nurseries out here, all the tomato farmers, all the other farmers, they want wind at night. We don't want wind. We don't want heat wicked off the top of the tanks. So we like a calm night, and with this, if it's windy, it blocks enough of the wind, it helps us out. The farmers like the windy nights because it keeps the air moving. It doesn't get the plants, so they do better. And here's another view of what the guys are going to be doing. I hope over the weekend, because it's going to be cold, they can't mess with the fish. This is the north side of the property. They're going to do the north side, and they'll do the west side. And that's all we do. We do not do the south side because the cold airs always come from the northeast or the northwest. That's all we want to block. Now the nursery next door, like I said, they want wind. But they also have some stuff up, but that's not adequate. Here I go down another rabbit hole. This is variegated pothos. Now this is a nursery plant. And I don't know how it got on the property, but it's here. And it's a big vine, and you'll see these in your stores. Over here, it's covering the whole way. So we don't really care. It doesn't bother these lychee trees, but we've got it the whole way. We just leave it alone. We mow around it. Interesting things about the lychee trees is in order for them to produce, they need a certain amount of cold for a certain amount of days to make fruit in the spring. So, you know, if we want lychees, we want a little bit cold. I don't want it cold. I want the fish warm. One last thing on these pothos. In the wild, not in your house, this is what they can do. Big leaves, big, big, big. So look at the size of that. So that's what they do out here. We get them like that.
It's like the higher they grow in the tree, the larger the leaves
Yeah,
get.
they go up. They don't really go all the way up the tree, but they do go up the tree some. One of the common questions we get is about our water. Now this is Tamla's room. You guys have seen this before. If you notice, we have water flow in all these tanks. And this is a concrete block building, poured concrete on the sides, and it's pretty well insulated up top. We've got ceiling fans running, and those kind of push the hot air down. And this water is coming out of the ground. We'll show you outside, but this water comes out of the ground 74, 75, 76 year round. So this is how we not only oxygenate, but how we take care of our water, hot and cold. This right here, our project tanks, they're coming along really great. These guys, I think they're breeding. There's a couple of males and they're really fired up, but I still think there's too many males in there because there's too much activity. This is our elongatus. They're hanging in their little hole together, having fun. Candalis and the combis are really kind of shy, but they're doing well. And we put this little piece of styrofoam right here, just because the guys have to have this door open to run back and forth, and just kind of blocks the wind. At night, this goes down, and they don't bring it up in the morning till later. This is one of our 16 by 16 tanks, about 5,000 gallons, and this is the water coming out. Now, this water, it's warm. I mean, it's really amazing. This water is a little bit cooler, but the fish are hanging out in here where they want to be. So like I said, we don't even come out here and bother them. This water runs all the time, and it's heating it, and it's air oxygenating it. So we're very fortunate to have this water here.
So one of the things you mentioned earlier, Rick, is just with the amount of water and the cooler days that actually certain parts of even the smaller vaults will have warmer pockets, and that's the main reason we don't want to go out and seine and net the fish on the cooler days. The fish will just naturally migrate to the temperature that they're comfortable with, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And of course, that smaller vat right there, it has a good amount. It's going to be a little bit warmer than this big one because of pure volume here and there. And you know, water holds heat very well, holds everything. So it's pretty amazing. We have had 32-degree nights out here, and everything's been just fine.
It's like a steam room. You walk
Yeah.
out. Again, once we get the black ground cover that Rick was talking about, this wall here, you won't be able to see the nursery next door. But when you walk in the morning, it's steaming coming off the wall.
Yeah, it looks like an old Bela Lugosi vampire movie walking through the cemeteries. But anyway, so we're very fortunate this water comes out like this. Now we have backups. If something happens, we've been very fortunate with our parlay, they put it underground. But we've got enough backup here to, even if our pumps went out and we didn't have the electricity, we've got that big diesel right there, and we have a big diesel in the back. We can run it 24, 36, 2 weeks, we don't care.
Rick, tell us a little bit about the challenges in shipping wholesale fish this time of year, especially with the colder weather up front, you know, not up front, but up north. So what is our process?
Well, you know, it's kind of a challenge because we could be shipping fish out of here and it's 80 degrees here and it's 20 degrees where we're going, but we still have to put heat packs in there. And so sometimes we go, you know, it's kind of like the heat, the hotter the water gets, the less oxygen. So we're very careful about it, but we have to use the heat packs. If it's really, really cold, we actually line the styrofoam box with paper. So we wrap the paper over, put the heat pack on top of the lid, close it up. And they do very well. They're 40-hour heat packs. They stick to the top of the styro. If it's a bigger styro, we'll use 2 of them. And we just hope that along the way, if they stop somewhere for a transfer, that they'll kind of get them moved along real quick. Sometimes they stick these things out and leave them outside. There's nothing we can do about it. But I've had shipments go out this summer, be 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours late. All the oxygen's gone. And I had a shipment one time that went 5 days in cold weather, 5 days. Fish came back, the water was like ice. They were fine, they were alive because they almost went dormant. They weren't using the oxygen. On the hot days, man, they suck the oxygen right out of the water so fast.
And even on the hot days, we actually use small ice packs just because of the amount of time it takes us to get to the airport and the anticipation of them sitting at the airport prior to them getting on a flight. So
You bet. And the ice packs don't last that long, but we want them to last getting out of the airport when it's 100 degrees and get on their way, so we will ice pack it. And once it gets on the airplane, the airlines are very good about it. They take good care of them, so they know what's going on. So that's what we do also, is ice packs or heat packs or nothing. Well, you all, I'm glad you are here. We didn't show you any fish. Don't get mad at us. We can't show you fish. So we'll show you next time. We'll start working on the 10-gallon tank.
hey, wait, you know what? Before we end this, why don't you tell them about our special visitor we had last week?
Well, why don't you tell them how we met him at Aquashella?
That's right. We were at Aquashella the first weekend of November. Paul and his crew were there, and we were there with your brother Andy and Extreme, and we just kind of hooked up and we invited him to the farm.
Yeah, it was interesting talking to him. He's a young dude, of course, PC Aquatics, and he, we came up to him, he was using words I never knew, like, what did he say? I was, what?
Oh, I don't know, like,
OG?
I don't know.
He said OG?
Yeah, he called you the OG.
OG, yeah. When we walked away, I told Glenn, I said, you know, I was hoping this guy would be excited by the farm, but he said OG, like, and I'm thinking, OG, I don't want to come to the farm. And then, of course, everybody else knew it was
The original gangster. Yeah.
But anyway, he was here, came here, did a video. He does it a different way. It's just amazing. You know, he's got the camera going all the time. He's pointing at it, pointing. We went all over the farm, had a blast. And I'm hoping he'll come back because I was going to put him to work breaking down the big pond we've been talking about. So maybe he will come back and do that.
Awesome, awesome. We'll put a link in this video so you guys
Yep.
can go check out the video.
Yep. But it was fun having him here. He's a great guy, very interesting guy. So it was a great time. So anyway, thanks for being on the farm again. I'm sorry we didn't show you fish again. Sorry. Remember to subscribe and give us a comment, tell your friends about us, whatever. Like us. Bye.
See you next time.
Yeah.